from a water-damaged basement in Prince George's County, Maryland. Welcome to Sunday Songs. How you guys doing? Happy Sunday. I hope your week was good. And thanks for being here with me. Beneath the trees of the Casbah, beneath the roots of those trees, on the casket floor, on the casket floor, the bottom of me feels so complete. And around my childhood museums, there stand Chinese guards. One of them has a bell, one of them has a bell that he rings when I come too close or leave too far. You might say that it's reckless, you might say that it's wild, but I'd rather be nobody's man than somebody's child. Now there's splinters in my fingers, and there's Portland cement in my lungs. I got a hammer and a cough, I got a hammer and a coffin. All of my friends speaking foreign tongues. There's an ugliness grown up inside me. From where it has come, I don't know. I left my sweetness beside that girl I goodbyed long ago. They might find my body at the bottom of the pile, but I'd rather be nobody's man than somebody's child. Such plans they have, such gods they have, deep in this nation of heat. We've been outdone again, we've been outdone again. And all of my friends, they walk on their feet. In the Congress of jackals will put a tax on my smile, but I'd rather be nobody's man than somebody's child. I might move to Las Vegas, live there for a while, 'cause I'd rather be nobody's, nobody. Yes, I'd rather be nobody's man than somebody's child. Thank you. Thanks very much. This is the point in the show where I always check to see if I have a text message from my manager or my mom telling me that it sounds bad. I don't have any. That's good. How do other TV shows do it? How does Jimmy Fallon do it? How does he know if he sounds bad or good? On Tonight Show, does his mom text him? Aspirations, flat refusals, childhood bedroom of singers, costume jewelry, ballpark figures, naked power, basic excitement, true love's call gone unrequited. Great hosannas, Sunday Christians, broken Spanish, postcard missions, paid compassion, sponsored mercy, remunerated soul searching, wishful thinking, best intentions, friendships based on chain link fences. Silent partners, business ventures, closet smokers, payday lenders, Rolex watches, walk-in closets, floodlights trained on open faucets, great hosannas, grin and bear it, what ruthless men stand to inherit. Thanks. That's called Great Hosannas, off of our second to last album called Windfall. Here's some of the old stuff here. Silver cans in bronze-colored dirt, silver cans and bronze-colored dirt. Things end so soon, 'neath the parking lot moon. Silver cans in bronze-colored dirt. She said, let's call it quits. Let's not call it the end of the world. Call it what you will, I'm heartbroken still. Words are just words. Road south on 995. Road south on 995. Forget what you're told, it's bound to get cold. Oh, there's road south on 995. I call today a disaster. She calls it December the 3rd. Call it what you will, I'm heartbroken still. Words are just words. On a brief and star-stricken night, on a brief and star-stricken night. I called her name on the road from Spokane on a brief and star-stricken night. I hear a blue heron crying. Some folks just call it a bird, call it what you will. I'm heartbroken still. Words are just words. Some call it land a boogeyman, but for right now they'll go unheard. Call it what you will. I'm heartbroken still. Words are just words. Thank you. Thank you very much. I don't know what to say too much in between songs these days. It's a crazy world these days we're living in it. So I don't know what to say besides play these songs. Why don't you, I'm going to play this song here in the meantime. Why don't you throw down in the chat where everyone's watching from tonight. I always love seeing that. So I'll play a tune and then we'll see where you guys are at. See Thomas Jefferson on the eve of Bunker Hill, writing words to die for, writing sentences to kill. They've come to paint his portrait, so he grabs a chair and sits as the surgeon orders cotton for 1,000 tourniquets. For God and country, for us and them. Every good idea kills at least 1,000 men. At least 1,000 men. See the able-bodied Christian in a dark and savage land, telling all those who will listen that God was once a man. Through Nito's eyes so narrow, he will lead them 4 by 4. He's got 900 shackles, he needs at least 100 more. Some are the means, some are the ends. Every good idea kills at least 1,000 men. At least 1,000 men. See the able-bodied student in his laboratory coat, whispering calculations like prayers stuck in his throat. Through Nito's eyes so narrow, he will lead them 4 by 4. He's got 900 shackles, he needs at least 100 more. 1,000 men, 1,000 men. Every good idea kills at least 1,000 men. At least 1,000 men. 1001, 1001. Every man I know thinks that he's 1001. 909, his day is done. Every man I know thinks that he's 1001. I know I'm 1001. Thanks. Okay, let's see where you guys are at tonight. Oh man, a bunch of people weighing in here. All right. Let's see. Olivia's in Massachusetts. Yeah, that Boston show I played in February was probably one of the last shows that I played. We tune in every week, Jessica does, from Fargo, North Dakota. All right. That is, I used to book tours for myself when I lived in Chicago all the way out to North Dakota. The farthest I would get would be, is it Chippewa Falls? That's on the west of the Dakota. Well, that's the closest I've ever gotten to you, plane-wise. DJ E. Marquis in El Camino Village, California. Let's see. Hey, I got my paisano over in Long Island, New York. Hey, someone in Prince George's County, Maryland. How you doing, Larry? Not bad. Cornwall, Ontario. Nice, man. This is great. I just love seeing everybody here. Prescott. Man, really kind of light on the St. Augustine peeps this week, I gotta say. Oh, wait. Here we go. These live streams always skew very heavy. St. Augustine. Oh, this is great. Thanks, everybody, for being here. I love this. Cool. Let's do one more. Lori's in Cleveland. Awesome. Hi, Lori. Allison's in Victoria. Right on. Thanks for being here, guys. I really love playing for you every week. This is really fun. I don't know why I didn't do this before the pandemic, to be completely honest. I would have done this and toured as well, because I get to play for people like Fargo. You know, like there's not exactly a folk club in Fargo that I can get to, you know, in an efficient manner. So I love playing for you here. I know it's not the same thing as being in a club, but man, it's not so bad. Let's see, what are we going to play now? Okay, I'm going to do another song on the tenor guitar this time. I busted this out last week. And I'll try to do another one here. This is off The Great Despiser. There's a bird fair and gold, do my owners do hold. She refuses to make them a sound. How it pains them to think that for me she does sing, while I carry their riches around. I might work in their fields, prepare them their meals. I might carry the letters they send, but there's a treasure I know buried deeply below that will shatter the shovels of men. There are children of theirs in the bedrooms upstairs. I've taught them their letters and words. They refuse to be heirs and inherit their share of a fortune that they never earned. I might sleep in their fold, do as I'm told. I might shepherd the young that they tend, But there's a silence I leave in the spaces between that will shadow the lessons of men. I might bleed on the shores they defend and handle the money their ends. I might shackle the hands they condemn. But there's a treasure I know buried deeply below that will shatter the shovels of men. There's a bird fair and gold that my owners do hold. She refuses to make them a sound. I gotta get in some woodshed time with this thing, man. I used to be a lot smoother on it, I swear. I want to play you guys tonight a couple covers. I always like tossing in a few covers with this, and someone who I haven't covered live at all before, I don't think, is John Hyatt. And I love his music. I love John Hyatt. He's one of my biggest influences. I don't know why I've never covered him live. Usually, I guess because I don't, in my normal stage show, I don't do a lot of covers in general, but I'm going to play you a couple what I consider to be underappreciated John Hyatt songs. So if you got a drink in hand, here's to you, Mr. Hyatt. I love you. I love your music. And this is one of my favorite songs of yours that I think could use a little bit more play. I've been taken off and landed, but this airport is closed. How much thicker this fog is gonna get, God only knows. Just when you think that you got a grip, reality sneaks up and gives you the slip, as if you ever knew what it was, taking you down the line. Tearing through the cotton fields and bus shelters of the South, running helter-skelter down through the Mississippi Delta, with no place to call your own. Mixing up with drinks with mixed feelings. All along the paint was peeling down to an Indian blanket on a pony, with no rider in the flesh and bone, searching for his Buffalo River home. I've been circling the wagons down at Times Square, trying to fill up this hole in my soul, nothing fits there. Just when you think you can let it rip, you're pounding the pavement in your daddy's wingtips, as if you had someplace else to go, or a better way to get there. Tearing up the cotton fields and bus shelters of the South, running helter-skelter down through the Mississippi Delta, with no place to call your own. Mixing up with drinks with mixed feelings. All along the paint was peeling down to an Indian blanket on a pony, with no rider in the flesh and bone, searching for his Buffalo River home. Now there's only two things in life that I forget what they are. Seems you're either hanging on a moonbeam's coattails, wishing on a star. Just when you think that you got gypped, The bearded lady comes and does a double backflip. You run off and join the circus. Yeah, you just let that pony ride. Tearing up the cotton fields and bus shelters of the South, running helter-skelter down through the Mississippi Delta, with no place to call your own. Mixing up trends with mixed feelings. All along the paint was peeling down to an Indian blanket on a pony, with no rider in the flesh and bone, searching for his Buffalo River home. John Hyatt, man. Here's another one of his that I think is really is not as well known as it should be in the pantheon of his work. Oh, the river knows your name, and your tears falling like the rain. All around you, suffering and pain. Oh, the river knows your name. Oh, the river hears you cry as the lightning cracks the open sky, as your mama sings a lullaby. Oh, the river, she knows why. Let the river wash you down beneath the surface with a rushing sound, like a freight train passing through the town. Oh, let the river wash you down. Let the river take away all the words that you and I could never say. And in the silence, darling, let us pray. Oh, let the river take it all away. Oh, the river knows your name, from the Brazos to the Wabash to the Seine. No two journeys are ever quite the same. Oh, the river knows your name. Oh, the river knows your name. All right, couple John Hyatt tunes for you there. I'm going to take you now. We're going to do an excerpt. I'm kind of trying to do some excerpts from the podcast that I do every Friday called The Working Songwriter, and just playing you some nuggets from that of inspiration or insight from some of our guests. And this is some insight from the DC native and legend Ian MacKaye, of Fugazi and of Minor Threat, another Discord record label. I hit him up about doing the podcast when I first started it like 5 years ago, and it was cool. I didn't have to go through like a publicist or like a manager or anything. I emailed his email address on his website, and he got back to me. And I think it took a long time to actually do the interview because he was trying to see if I was full of shit or not. And I am full of shit, and he wasn't able to detect that. So a couple of years later, I was able to get through the door and talk to him. And he had some really interesting things to say about creativity, and I want to play you one excerpt here and see what you think.
When I write lyrics, I gotta believe them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not like I understand there's plenty of people who can write and just like they just throw words in, and it's like, and they should, maybe it's just a sound, like a sonic thing, and they just know this sounds good, or maybe it's just all imagery and they just kind of toss that in there, and I respect it.
Yeah.
Like I don't have any issue with that, but for me, like I have to believe it. Like I just can't, I can't sing something that doesn't mean something to me.
And presumably means something to who you believe that you're talking to, that other party.
I mean, I don't know about that because I am only interested really in the transmission.
Right.
And transmission and reception are two different things. So any piece of art or any kind of offering, whether it's like, for instance, if you were a chef, maybe you are a chef, I don't know, but if you were to cook something and something that you right to your taste, you could bring it to a room of people, and the 6 people, and 5 of them might think it's delicious, and the 6th one think it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Transmission and reception are different things, and people are not wrong. Like when someone says to me, "Oh, this song's about that," I'm like, "Okay,
yeah,
I suppose." I don't know. I just don't. For me, I know what I was writing about, but once you release it,
yeah.
I mean, literally, I don't mean release it through a record. I mean release it like a butterfly or something. Like once you let the song go, what it's about is up to the listener.
Amen to that, Ian. I really do think that. It bothers me when artists release a work and then, want to talk to you about it afterwards and give you like guidance in how you're supposed to consume it. I can't stand that. You could probably look up on the internet somewhere and find me breaking that rule right there. But in general, I don't like it. I think everything that you need should be baked into that piece of art. I think so. Who the hell cares what I think? Okay, now it's time for America's favorite time to cry. Whoa. America's favorite time to cry. Soft boy poem. Okay, our poem this week is from one of my favorite poets named Jane Hirschfield. She has one of my favorite poems called My Life Was the Size of My Life, but I think we've already read that on here, so I'm going to read this poem of hers, which I think is, well, if not equally beautiful to that other poem of hers, then more beautiful than a lot of other poetry I read. This was once a love poem. This was once a love poem. Before its haunchins thickened, its breath grew short, before it found itself sitting perplexed and a little embarrassed on the fender of a parked car while many people passed by without turning their heads. It remembers itself dressing as if for a grand engagement. It remembers choosing these shoes, this scarf or tie. Once it drank beer for breakfast, drifted its feet in a river side by side with the feet of another. Once it pretended shyness, then grew truly shy, dropping its head so the hair would fall forward so the eyes would not be seen. It spoke with passion of history, of art. It was lovely then, this poem. Under its chin, no fold of skin softened. Behind the knees, no pad of yellow fat. What it knew in the morning, it still believed at nightfall. An unconjured confidence lifted its eyebrows, its cheeks. The longing is not diminished. Still it understands. It is time to consider a cat, the cultivation of African violets or flowering cactus. Yes, it decides, many miniature cacti in blue and red painted pots. When it finds itself disquieted by the pure and unfamiliar silence of its new life, it will touch them, one, then another, with a single finger outstretched like a tiny flame. Jane Hirschfield spit in the fire, and pretty damn funny too. Okay, I'm going to jump down in the comments now. Let me know what you guys want to hear, or ask me any question. Ask me anything, man. I'm here. Robert Wallner says, tomorrow has the potential to suck way worse than my standard Monday. But right now I have this show. Life is... Okay, well, right on, Robert. I'm sorry tomorrow's going to be a bummer. But, you know, that's how it goes. Donna Marie on Facebook. Will you please play Hymn 101? Yeah, I will. I never get tired of playing this song. Sure, I sure will. Whoops. And I've come to know the wish list of my father. I've come to know the shipwrecks where he wished. I've come to wish aloud among the overdressed crowd. Come to witness now the sinking of the ship, throwing pennies from the seat top next to it. And I've come to roam the forest past the village with a dozen lazy horses in my cart. I've come here to get high, to do more than just get by. I've come to test the timber of my heart. Oh, I've come to test the timber of my heart. And I have come to be untroubled in my seeking. And I have come to see that nothing is for naught. I've come to reach out blind, to reach forward and behind. For the more I seek, the more I'm sought. Yeah, the more I seek, the more I'm sought. And I've come to meet the sheriff and his posse, to offer him the broadside of my jaw. I've come here to get broke, and then maybe bum a smoke. We'll go drinking 2 towns over after all. We'll go drinking 2 towns over after all. And I've come to meet the legendary takers. I've only come to ask them for a lot. Well, they say I've come with less than I should rightfully possess. I'll say the more I buy, the more I'm bought. And the more I'm bought, the less I cost. And I have come to take their servants and their surplus. And I have come to take their raincoats and their speed. I've come to get my fill, to ransack and spill. I've come to trade the harvest for the seed. Well, I've come to trade the harvest for the seed. I've come to know the manger that you sleep in. I have come to be the stranger that you keep. I've come from down the road, and my footsteps never slowed. Before we met, I knew we'd meet. Oh, before we met, I knew we'd meet. And I've come here to ignore your cries and heartaches. I've come to closely listen to you sing. I've come here to insist that I leave here with a kiss. I've come to say exactly what I mean, and I mean so many things. And you've come to know me as stubborn as a butcher, and you've come to know me thankless as a guest. But will you recognize my face when God's awful grace strips me of my jacket and my vest and reveals all the treasure in my chest? Thank you. I think that one was for Donna. Is that who that one was for? Let's see. All right. What's up with everybody else here? Mama Mary. Mama Mary over on YouTube with a very cryptic background avatar there. I would like to hear Veteran Fighter. Yeah, I'd love to play Veteran Fighter for you. You got it. This is one, I usually do it on piano live. I'm working on, you can see this piano behind me. I'm working on getting another camera so that we can start doing some piano stuff back there too. But I'm not quite ready to shell out for another camera just yet. I'm gonna wait a little while. Maybe for Christmas, maybe before then. All right, this is Veteran Fighter for Mama Mary over on YouTube. You see the moon in the mirror tonight as you pull out on the 35 South. Got a lot upon your mind tonight, and so you took a ride to figure it out. The years went by like strangers that you might have recognized if they didn't walk away into the wedding night. Don't back down yet, it'll get brighter. Stand your ground like a veteran fighter. Grip that wheel just a little bit tighter now. Don't back down yet, it'll get brighter. Stand your ground like a veteran fighter. Grip that wheel just a little bit tighter now. You see your baby in the stars tonight as you pull out on the 35 South. You know she wonders where you are tonight and whether you could ever turn it around. Been a while since you could hold her hand. She's so kind, she smiles and says she understands. Don't back down yet, it'll get brighter. Stand your ground like a veteran fighter. Grip that wheel just a little bit tighter now. Don't back down yet, it'll get brighter. Stand your ground like a veteran fighter. Grip that wheel just a little bit tighter now. Don't back down yet, it'll get brighter. Stand your ground like a veteran fighter. Grip that wheel just a little bit tighter now. Don't back down yet, it'll get brighter. Stand your ground like a veteran fighter. Grip that wheel just a little bit tighter now. Don't back down yet, it'll get brighter. Stand your ground like a veteran fighter. for Mama Mary. Thanks for asking for it. Okay, let's see where else you guys are at. Boom. Oh man, my paisan over in Long Island wants to hear Let Down. You got it, brother, man. The night so long you can almost hear it groan. The night so long you can almost hear it groan. And we walk so far that our shadows turn to stone. It was a wretched room, but we hung up Christmas lights. It was a wretched room, but we hung up Christmas lights. And the girls played house while the neighbors froze outside. Brace yourself for the letdown. The Holy Ghost with his hands out. No peace on earth is cheaply found. Do you see my colors now? Well, she had long black hair, and you bought everything she sold. And she had long black hair, and you bought everything she sold. And she taught you the fine points of doing just as you were told. Brace yourself for the letdown. The Holy Ghost with his hands out. No peace on earth is cheaply found. Do you see my colors now? Do you see my colors now? Thanks. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Let's see here. Julie, I would get to these, but you know what? I played those a lot. I just played those last one. I'm trying to change it up week to week here, so maybe next week I'll get to that. Let's see. Andrew over at YouTube, Andrew Kretschmer. What's the shortest time it took to write a fully formed song, start to finish? I wrote Hymn 101 like really fast. And when I went into the studio, I did make a few changes to certain phrases and stuff like that, but that song tumbled out of me fully formed in about 15 minutes when I was about 21 years old. So I don't know how that happened. If I knew how that happened, I would write a lot more Hymn 101s. I'd write Hymn 102 or 3 or 4, all that, but it just came out. So that was really fast. That was probably the fastest I've ever written a song in its entirety, notwithstanding a couple edits that I made later. And then longest it's ever taken to write a song. I think most writers are this way. You kind of have like this bone pile of songs that just haven't been finished. You got uninspired by them, or you just don't think that they're that good, or you just can't figure out a way to do them justice by writing another part to it. And so that'll be, I've had songs in my bone pile for 10 years that I've come back and finished. I'll play you a fraction of a song that's on the bone pile right now that I don't know how to finish yet. So this is kind of like a song fragment. I was young, I was fast, I was pleased with myself. Had the keys to the city on the loop of my belt. Then I strayed from the path till I ended up lost. Now I'm drowning in a river I didn't have to cross. Drowning in a river I didn't have to cross. So that's all I got for that song, and I haven't been able to finish it in a way that I like. But I think it's promising enough that I'll probably take a couple cracks at it. You know, I'm trying to write a new album right now, and I'll take a, you know, if I can't come up with anything new in a given writing session, I'll take a crack at that song or a couple other ones like that, you know. Thanks for the question, Andrew. I appreciate it. Let's see. Eric, over on the old Facebook. Blues came down, will be tight. Yes, it would. Let's do it. Thank you, Eric. I woke up after breakfast. I left her bedroom late. The streets were filled with strangers, half expecting a parade. I never saw it coming as the first applause began. Then the blues came down on the heels of a marching band. Silver on my fingers, sugar on my tongue. My father stood behind me and he asked what I'd become. I said I speak a language that you'll never understand. Then the blues came down on the heels of a marching band. Blues came down, blues came down. They say the truth and justice must be their own reward. I grew rich pretending while the honest going poor. Don't you play dumb about it when you're on that witness stand. While the blues came down on the heels of a marching band. Yeah, the blues came down on the heels of a marching band. I found that to be the case with me, at least. All right. Let's see. Looks like I got time for a couple more. Oh, here, I'll do this one because I never get it. I never get this one requested. Where did it go? Oh, man. Here we go. Eric Myers over on YouTube has requested The Stranger I've Been. I never get to play this song, and it's really short. And it's a fun one. We almost didn't cut this song for the album because we always thought of it as a novelty song. And then the last day of tracking, we had, this happens a lot when you have a session. If your work pace, you know, goes a little bit faster than you thought because you had some built-in time. I've been on a lot of sessions where you end up with, you know, the chance to cut one more song. You're kind of out of songs, and we're getting ready to leave. And then Kenneth, the producer for this album, said, "Hey, man, remember that song that you first wrote when we first started working on this a long time ago? We kind of thought it was a joke. Let's try that one." So Here, this is the one that we thought was kind of a joke, but maybe it's not a joke. I don't know. Have you noticed a young man about just my height, coming and going at all hours of night? Did he knock on your front door? Did you let him in? Are you familiar with this stranger have been? Are you familiar with this stranger have been? Well, I started out honest and true to my word, but somewhere I lost it. I took a wrong turn. Now it's over, and oh how the disguise has worn thin. Are you familiar with this stranger have been? Are you familiar with this stranger have been? You can fit all he stands for on the head of a pin. Are you familiar with this stranger have been? Are you familiar with this stranger have been? There you go. Between that and I don't work in a bank, I'm rolling heavy on the novelty songs these days. Oh, Be Sour says new idea for a segment, bone pile songs. That's pretty good. I like that because I do have enough. I can play you guys some really bad ones too. Be Sour, whoever you are over on YouTube, sir, I salute you. I'm going to try and do that next week. I'm going to try and do a bone pile song and see how it works. All right, I'm going to leave you guys with one more tune here. Thank you so much for being here this week. If you could do me a favor and just spread the word. Let people know who you think might dig it. That every Sunday night I'll be here at 9 o'clock playing music, taking requests. I think it's going to turn more into a show where I just kind of chat and take requests for a large part of the show, because I think that that's what makes this medium compelling. You know what I mean? I think that there's a lot of stuff lost, not at a live show, but the one thing that we can do here is we can kind of communicate in a different way all together all over the world. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Please let people know. Tell them to stop on by Sunday nights, 9 Eastern. I'll be here to play you some Sunday songs. And I'm going to play you one more here. Let's see. Yeah, I'll end here. Julie, I didn't play your request earlier, so I'll play it. I'll play this one. This one I can play. I don't think I've played this one in a while. Actually, I think I might have played it last week, but man, I'm not going to deny you twice. So, thanks for stopping by. I'll leave you with this one. Here again, here again, what I wouldn't give to completely disappear and then float back down to earth with a heart that doesn't want to end up here again. Back and forth, back and forth. It's all fun and games till you find out what you're fighting for is the very piece of chain that's held you here in place, wandering back and forth. I keep on waking in the middle of the night to make a promise. Maybe one day I can keep it if I try. Here again, There are voices speaking truth far away. You know I'm hearing them. Can I follow where they lead? Or will I fall asleep and wake up here again? Have a great week. Come on again next week and bring a friend or tell a friend. And I'll see you then. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much. Peace.